There comes a point in life when we must learn to listen to our bodies more closely than ever before. After 60, the signs it gives us are quieter, more subtle, but no less important. For many seniors, the heart, this tireless muscle that has carried them through decades of joy, stress, love, and loss, begins to whisper before it ever shouts. And when it comes to heart attacks, it rarely announces itself with the dramatic chest pain we see in movies. More often, especially in older adults, it arrives wearing a mask, disguised as fatigue, indigestion, or simple discomfort. That's why understanding these hidden signs isn't just helpful. It's life-saving. You see, aging doesn't make heart attacks more theatrical. It makes them more deceptive. The arteries stiffen quietly, the circulation slows gently, and small warning signs can be dismissed as just aging or a bad night's sleep. And that's where the danger lies. Because while we're busy blaming tiredness on a poor mattress or brushing off jaw discomfort as a dental issue, the heart could be crying out for help. It's not about living in fear, it's about living with awareness. About giving your body the attention and respect it deserves after a lifetime of carrying you through everything. One of the most overlooked signals is unexplained fatigue. Not just the kind that comes after a busy day, but a deep, dragging exhaustion that seems to settle in your bones. The kind that makes it hard to get through simple tasks like making breakfast or walking to the mailbox. In seniors, this is one of the most common early signs of a heart attack. Yet it's also one of the easiest to dismiss. Why? Because fatigue is so common as we age. But here's the difference: this kind of fatigue is new. It's persistent. And it doesn't go away with rest. If you notice this, especially if it comes with other unusual symptoms, it's time to listen closely. Another silent sign hides in something as ordinary as shortness of breath. You're walking from one room to another and suddenly you feel winded. You haven't climbed stairs, you haven't exerted yourself, yet your lungs feel tight. For some, it might feel like you just can't get enough air, or like your breathing is shallow and strained. This is often brushed off as a lack of exercise or weight gain. But your heart and lungs work in tandem, and when the heart isn't pumping properly, the lungs suffer. Don't ignore it. Breath is life, and when your breath becomes labored, it's often a call for immediate attention. Sometimes the signs are even stranger. Like a sudden feeling of anxiety or dread without any clear reason. Imagine sitting comfortably, enjoying your evening, and suddenly you feel overwhelmed with a sense that something is wrong. That deep, intuitive feeling that something inside is off balance. Many people, especially women and older adults, describe this emotional wave right before a heart attack. And because it's emotional, we think we're just feeling off. But your body has wisdom. That unease is your inner alarm bell. Don't silence it. Then there's the unexpected pain, not in your chest, but in places you wouldn't associate with your heart. Discomfort in the neck, jaw, shoulders, back, or even the arms, especially the left one, can be a heart attack in disguise. These symptoms are often brushed off as muscle pain or arthritis, but the heart doesn't always follow the rules. Nerve signals from the heart often get crossed with other areas, especially as we age. If you're experiencing unusual or spreading pain, especially with fatigue or nausea, don't wait for the pain to move to your chest. The time to act is now. And still, many seniors miss these signs because they're subtle, familiar, or simply because they believe heart attacks should look a certain way. But your body changes with age, and so do the symptoms. That's why it's crucial to know these lesser-known signals, not to live in fear, but to live prepared. Your body isn't trying to scare you, it's trying to protect you. It speaks in quiet signs, small discomforts, unfamiliar patterns. Learn to listen. Because often, that early whisper is the only chance you'll get before the heart begins to break its silence for good. One of the greatest challenges we face as we grow older isn't just physical, it's recognizing the shifting language of our bodies. Especially when it comes to matters of the heart. The signs of a heart attack in older adults are not always dramatic. They don't always come with a cinematic clutch of the chest or a sudden collapse. In fact, they often arrive quietly, masked in symptoms so ordinary that they're dismissed as nothing at all. But if we've learned anything from the thousands of seniors whose lives have changed in a heartbeat, it's this: what seems ordinary can sometimes be urgent. Let's talk about nausea and cold sweats, two signs that are surprisingly common in senior heart attacks and yet often ignored. You might wake up one morning with a slight queasiness in your stomach. Maybe you feel a bit clammy, like your skin is too cool or too damp, even though the room temperature hasn't changed. These symptoms are often mistaken for a stomach bug, indigestion, or simply feeling off. But what if it's more than that? What if it's your heart, struggling silently, sending out subtle signals that its oxygen supply is being compromised? The heart, when under stress, can affect the digestive system because of the way nerves and blood flow intertwine. Nausea and cold sweat are not symptoms to brush aside, especially if they come on suddenly or for no apparent reason. Now consider dizziness or lightheadedness. You stand up from a chair or get out of bed, and the world seems to tilt slightly. You grab for support. Maybe your vision swims, your knees weaken. It passes quickly, and you chalk it up to low blood sugar or maybe dehydration. But here's what many don't realize: when the heart isn't pumping efficiently, the brain doesn't get enough oxygen-rich blood. That moment of dizziness may not be about your diet or your posture. It might be your heart's quiet cry for help. It's moments like these when hesitation can cost you the chance to act early. When you feel dizzy or faint without a clear reason, especially if it's new or recurring, pay attention. Your heart may be struggling more than you know. There's also the issue of irregular heartbeat. As we age, it's easy to expect our heartbeat to change. But there's a difference between the gentle slowing of age and the erratic rhythm of a heart in distress. If your heartbeat suddenly feels too fast, too slow, or skips like a broken record, don't write it off. Some seniors feel this as a fluttering in their chest, a pounding in their neck, or a sensation that their heart is racing even while they are resting. These irregular rhythms can be signs of arrhythmia, or worse, the precursor to a cardiac event. You might not feel pain, but your heart is clearly out of sync, and that deserves attention. Let's not forget the all-too-common tendency to attribute symptoms to everything but the heart. A senior might feel exhausted after simple tasks, but assume it's just aging. They may feel pain in their back or shoulders and think it's arthritis. They may experience nausea or jaw discomfort and assume it's dental or digestive. But when symptoms arrive together, or feel different from your normal aches and pains, they should not be ignored. It's not about being paranoid. It's about being proactive. Because aging changes the way symptoms appear. And if we treat every signal like it's just another part of getting old, we risk missing the most critical warnings of our lives. It's time we shift our mindset. You are not fragile, you are wise. And wisdom means knowing that your body, no matter how old, is still capable of signaling when something is wrong. It means you don't have to accept every new ache or unusual feeling as just part of aging. It might be, but it might also be something more. And when it comes to your heart, it's always better to check than to chance it. So ask yourself, have I felt unusually tired lately, even without effort? Do I feel winded when I shouldn't be? Have I felt queasy, dizzy, sweaty, or off balance in a way that feels new? Has my heart been beating strangely? If you say yes to any of these, pause. Reflect. And if the feeling returns, don't delay. Talk to a doctor. Even a simple checkup can make the difference between a minor scare and a major event. Because your heart, after all these years of faithful service, deserves a little attention. It has carried you through a lifetime, now it's asking you to carry it through the next. Listen carefully. Respond bravely. And trust that your best years still lie ahead, as long as you take care of the engine that powers it all. Let's talk about the most overlooked, most underestimated symptom of all, fatigue. Not just a simple tiredness after a long day or a poor night's sleep, but a deep, dragging exhaustion that doesn't seem to go away no matter how much you rest. The kind of fatigue that makes the simple act of walking across the room feel like climbing a mountain. The kind that turns getting dressed or preparing breakfast into monumental tasks. For far too many seniors, this kind of exhaustion is dismissed as a normal part of aging. But the truth is, it can be one of the earliest and most dangerous signs of an impending heart attack, and the one most people miss until it's too late. This is the kind of fatigue that doesn't announce itself with drama. It sneaks in gradually, like a fog creeping over the hills, dulling your energy, your sharpness, your zest for life. It steals moments quietly. First you stop walking to the mailbox, then you avoid stairs, and before you realize it, you're spending more time sitting and less time living. This slow fade might not raise alarm bells, but it should. Because what you may not realize is that your heart, under strain, is no longer pumping blood as effectively as it once did. When your heart can't deliver enough oxygen-rich blood to your muscles and tissues, your body slows down. Your energy drains. Your willpower slips. And if you're not careful, you accept this as your new normal, when in fact, it's your body waving a red flag. But why is this symptom so dangerous in older adults? Because it blends in. It hides behind age, behind arthritis, behind sleepless nights and chronic conditions. It wears the disguise of normal, which makes it all the more lethal. Seniors are told again and again that slowing down is inevitable, but not all slowdowns are harmless. When fatigue arrives suddenly or becomes steadily worse with no clear explanation, it deserves your full attention. You must ask, what's really causing this? Is my heart working harder than it should? Is it failing to keep up with the needs of my body? Now imagine the compounding effect of that fatigue when combined with something else, mild shortness of breath, occasional chest discomfort, or even just a vague feeling of unease. These symptoms don't scream emergency, but they whisper it, repeatedly. And in that whisper lies the danger. Many seniors who suffer heart attacks later say they felt off in the days or even weeks before. They didn't feel pain, but they felt different. Less capable. More sluggish. Not themselves. That is the message to pay attention to, are not just the loud, painful symptoms, but the quiet drift away from who you normally are. We must become detectives of our own well-being. If you find yourself withdrawing from activities you once enjoyed, not because of mood, but because your body feels weighed down, that's not just aging. That could be a warning. If a walk to the kitchen leaves you winded, or you avoid your favorite chair by the window because getting up again feels too hard, you may be experiencing more than fatigue. You may be living through the early stages of heart dysfunction. Even more concerning is when this fatigue is accompanied by sleep disturbances. If you find yourself waking in the night, gasping, feeling like you're not getting enough air, or if you need to prop yourself up with multiple pillows to breathe comfortably, this could be a sign of fluid buildup due to heart failure. And yet so many brush it off as just bad sleep or just old age. It's time to stop brushing it off. Time to listen, investigate, and act. And here's something else that needs to be said: getting older doesn't mean you lose your right to energy, joy, and vibrant health. You are not meant to simply survive these years, you are meant to thrive in them. You've spent decades building a life, a family, a home. You've weathered storms, raised children, endured loss, and experienced triumph. Now is not the time to surrender to symptoms. Now is the time to reclaim your vitality. You deserve doctors who listen when you say, "I feel tired in a way I never used to." You deserve the tests, the answers, the reassurance, or the early intervention that could save your life. Heart disease may be common, but it's not inevitable. And it's certainly not unstoppable. With the right awareness, the right habits, and the right response to your body's subtle cues, you can not only prevent disaster, you can build a life of strength, freedom, and continued independence. And if you're still with me, reading these words with your heart open and your mind tuned in, then know this: you are already taking the most powerful step you can take toward protecting your future. Because awareness is where transformation begins. It's not flashy. It's not dramatic. But it is the quiet force that saves lives. The fact that you're learning these signs, reflecting on your body's subtle language, and giving attention to something most people ignore, that makes you part of a small but powerful group. A group that refuses to go quietly into the night. A group that chooses to stay prepared, to stay vigilant, to stay alive in the fullest sense of the word. You may have walked through decades of joy and struggle. You may have held loved ones close, buried others, fought through illnesses, built a family, built a life. And now, your health is the foundation on which the next season of your life will be built. A strong heart isn't just about survival. It's about quality. It's about dancing at your grandchild's wedding. It's about taking that dream vacation. It's about being present and alert when your children need advice, when your friends need laughter, when the world needs your wisdom. Because make no mistake, the world does still need you. So let this knowledge sit heavy in your soul, not as fear, but as fuel. Fuel to ask your doctor the hard questions. Fuel to look in the mirror and say, "I still have more to do." Fuel to eat more mindfully, to move your body with intention, to rest with purpose, to connect with others meaningfully. Because the heart is not just a muscle, it's the rhythm of your life. When it slows down, life dims. When it thrives, your world is vibrant, clear, and filled with possibility. Don't let anyone convince you that aging is about decline. It's not. It's about refinement. About power through patience. About deeper insight and sharper clarity. And those who age with awareness and action, they are the ones who write the most beautiful final chapters. Because they don't let the quiet symptoms steal their tomorrows. They meet them head on. They ask questions. They make changes. They live with bold honesty. Think of your heart as a trusted companion. It has been with you since the beginning, beating quietly, faithfully, through love, grief, triumph, and defeat. It deserves your attention now. It deserves your protection. And it deserves your promise that you will listen, you will learn, and you will live with greater purpose from this moment forward. Don't wait until the pain screams. Don't wait until the ambulance. Don't wait until it's too late. Be the person who acts. Be the person who shows others how powerful preparation can be. Your life is not behind you. It's here. It's now. It's waiting. So from this moment, carry this wisdom in your every breath. Let it guide your conversations, your choices, your routine. Let it be the reason you stay proactive, not reactive. The reason you go for that walk, prepare that healthy meal, and book that checkup you've been putting off. Because you matter. Your life matters. Your tomorrow still holds light, laughter, and meaning. And Healthful Living 60+ will be right here with you, every step of the way, reminding you that aging is not about fading. It's about rising. Rising with strength, with wisdom, with courage, and with love.